The Delawares of Kansas in the Indian Territory joined the Union Army in extraordinary numbers. Out of a total of 201 eligible Delaware males between the ages of 18 and 45 in the year 1862, 170 volunteered for service. The most heralded of these was Black Beaver. The Delaware primarily served as scouts and home guards, and long before the outbreak of the Civil War, Black Beaver was recognized as one of the most accomplished Indian scouts in North America. Black Beaver was born in 1806 into the Lenape family living in the area of present-day Belleville, western Illinois. Many Lenape had migrated here after the American Revolutionary War from their traditional territory along the Delaware River and coastal areas of the mid-Atlantic states. As a youth, Black Beaver began trapping and trading beaver pelts for the American Fur Company of John Jacob Astor, as the fur trade was still an important industry. Known to his own people as Seketamakwa, the young man became fluent in English, French, and Spanish, in addition to his native Lenape and about 8 other American Indian languages. He used the common trade sign language to communicate with tribes whose language he did not know. His skills were invaluable to the many white settlers and military expeditions that were traveling west. He served the Dodge Leavenworth expedition in 1834, and during the Mexican-American War, he led a unit of Indian volunteers as captain in the U.S. Army. When Captain Randall B. Marcy escorted the first 500 emigrants from Fort Smith, Arkansas to Santa Fe during the gold rush days of 1849, he engaged Black Beaver as a guide. On his return, Black Beaver took a shortcut across the prairie that reduced the 2-month trip to 2 weeks. Thousands of emigrants followed this route to the west. It became known as the California Trail. After that, Black Beaver settled near Fort Arbuckle in south central Indian Territory. He became chief of a Lenape village called Beaverstown. During 1849, 1852, and 1854, Black Beaver guided Randall B. Marcy's exploration. By 1860, Black Beaver was the wealthiest and most well-known Lenape in America. He had settled in present-day Cato County, Oklahoma, and lived near Anadarko. The Lenape have been relocated here from east of the Mississippi by the federal government during the Indian removal. By May 1861, with the outbreak of the Civil War, General William H. Emory, stationed at Fort Arbuckle, learned that 6,000 Confederate troops were advancing towards his forces from Texas and Arkansas. He gathered the soldiers from Forts Washita, Cobb, and Arbuckle near Minco, but to escape to Kansas across the open prairie, he needed a guide. Other Indian guides turned him down for fear of reprisal by the Confederates. In addition, members of the 5 civilized tribes, the Cherokee, Chickasaw, Creek, and other slave-holding tribes, had allied with the Confederates, who promised them an Indian state if they had won the war. Emory granted Black Beaver that the federal government would reimburse him for any losses, so he agreed to help. He scouted the approaching Confederate troops and provided information for Emory to capture their advancing guard. They were the first prisoners captured during the Civil War. Black Beaver guided more than 800 Union soldiers, their prisoners, and 200 teamsters, managing 80 wagons and 600 horses and mules, in a mile-long train across 500 miles of open prairie to safety at Fort Leavenworth in eastern Kansas. He did not lose a single man, horse, or wagon. He also freed multiple slaves from each of the 5 civilized tribes. The Confederate Army and allied Native American warriors destroyed Black Beaver's ranch and placed a bounty on his head. He stayed in Kansas until after the end of the war, when he returned to rebuild the Indian Territory. The United States government never fully compensated him for his losses. After the war, Black Beaver and his friend Jesse Chisholm returned and developed part of the Native American path used by the Union Army into what became known as the Chisholm Trail. They collected and herded thousands of stray Texas Longhorn cattle by the trail to railroads in Kansas, from where the cattle were shipped east, where beef sold for more than 10 times the price of that in the West. The Chisholm Trail was used by other cowboys to drive millions of cattle to Kansas for shipment to the east. Black Beaver resettled in Anadarko, where he built the first brick home in the area. He had 300 acres of fenced and cultivated land, as well as cattle, hogs, and horses. Black Beaver died at his home on May 8, 1880, and was buried on his ranch. In 1976, he was reinterred in a military cemetery at Fort Sill, and recognition of his contributions to the Union during the Civil War. His former ranch site has been listed as a National Register of Historic Places. Well, thank you guys for checking out this video. And if you like this video and videos like this, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends. And as always, remember to get out there and explore. Thanks, guys.